Hello, Adora Alfie here, and welcome back to Factorio Space Age. So, in the last episode, we did a lot of expansion right on Novice. We have pushed out on the north side. I still need to get more flamethrower turrets and stuff like that. We haven't quite done that. I haven't managed to push out on the bottom right and the bottom down here, right? So that's gonna be something I need to do. My walls do need repairing and stuff. Oh, I'll take care of that. Don't worry, don't worry. And hopefully we'll be able to push out at some point. However, what I want to do in today's episode is I want to expand Walker over here, right? Right now, what we have Walker doing is it is mainly making space science and also providing us with some calcite over here, right? Other than that, I have it reprocessing asteroids, but it's not like reprocessing them for quality, it's just reprocessing them to use them to make other things, right? So I want to kind of take this apart, maybe add on a bit more space so we can do more asteroid reprocessing. And also, I have a nuclear reactor over here, right? I want to expand this so it's like a 2x1, so I have like 2 reactors, and increase the amount of power production we have. I'm probably just gonna move that maybe over here or something. We probably have enough space to like spaghetti some of our nuclear fuel belts, right, all the way over here. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. But yeah, I want to move that over there. And then other than that, I don't think I want to add anything to the left side. I just want to add stuff to the right side, right? So I am going to put a cut here and because there's a lot of like expanding to do and stuff. It'll take a bit of time, so I'm going to try and do that off camera. And I'll be back once I'm like done expanding and once I have like a rough plan for what I want to get going, I think. But yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So, as you might be able to tell, Wonka is a lot bigger now. First of all, the nuclear reactor, I moved it all the way over here. Which means the belt with nuclear fuel on it is really long. And it has a lot more fuel than it really needs to. So I might try and do something about this. You know what? Let me swap this over a little bit. And what if I do this and empty out this belt? I don't want to toss out the nuclear fuel, right? That's why I'm doing this. And I do a bit of this. So, what I want to do is, if I have this connected to one of these, and then have this set to all, and then have this set to, if there is less than, let's say like 20 fuel, right? If there's less than 20 fuel on this belt, put more fuel on the belt. If I move that over there. So, how much fuel is there on this belt? 287. 287 fuel. Yeah, I think like 20 fuel is a decent enough buffer, right? That's a lot of like nuclear fuel cells that we really don't need this to hold. Okay, so we'll do that. I think I'll set this up to be um just not have 10. I think it's like 10 per rocket anyway, right? Yeah, just have like a rocket and a bit worth maybe. So that should solve that issue. But anyway, let me go through the changes I made, right? The first thing I did is I kind of redid this bit. I used a bunch of express belts to make it able to process inputs faster, right? So it doesn't get backed up from anything. We have all of the collectors on the outside, bringing in the asteroids over here. It goes into this splitter, which is prioritizing stuff from this belt, which is coming from our asteroid reprocessing area. I will talk about that in a bit. But it takes all of the asteroids, it sends it back over here, and this is kind of the same as before, where it splits it into metallic, carbonic, and then, what is it called again? Oxide? Yeah, that's oxide, right? The ice ones are oxide? Yeah. And it does that. Then we have splitters over here, which it prioritizes feeding stuff into our factory over here, right? Which is making all the space science and everything like that that we need to run the ship. And then there's like an underground over here on the low priority lane, right? Which sends it to another splitter, which again has a high priority lane going to the right, while the low priority stuff gets sent over here. And it goes through 2 splitters, and then it gets put onto this belt, which has a priority to reprocess them. But if it's full, right? If this is full, then it'll go over here, and it'll get tossed out of the ship, basically. So that's what we have going on over here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's still not quite perfect, I think. I think, like, this might want to be... I need to have, like, a bit of a slower, like, belt somewhere around here, I think. Yeah. Anyway, for now it's okay, though. So that's what I have. I might want to rethink that a little bit, because I wanted to be able to reprocess things really fast, but for now, that's fine. Okay. Then we have the reprocessing asteroids being sent over here. I have carbonic and oxide being merged onto one belt. Metallic is going over here, and it all just goes along here. And we have a first stage over here, right? The first stage is basically reprocessing metallic, carbonic, and oxide asteroids. And we have 2 quality modules in each one of these, which basically means that we have a 5% chance of getting a higher quality asteroid, right? So it's a 5% chance of becoming uncommon, and I think it's like a 5% chance of a 5% chance of becoming a rare, and then like a 5% of a 5% of a 5% of becoming epic, and so on and so on, right? So it does that, and it puts the outputs on these belts over here, and it gets sent to this contraption, right? If after that, like, it's only a 5% chance of it becoming uncommon or better, right? Then it goes down this path. If it's like the remaining 95% chance, it goes to the left, which gets sent back to be sorted again, right? Because this is like a unsorted mess, because each one of the asteroids, once you reprocess them, they can become any of the other 3 types of asteroids, right? So we do need to resort them. So that's what that does. Other than that, we also have yeah, so it gets sent over here. Another thing we need to keep in mind is that the asteroid reprocessing recipe has a 20% chance to destroy the asteroid, right? So it's like a 40% to get the same type of asteroid, and a 20% to get the other 2 types of asteroids, right? So it adds up to 80%, which means 20% chance to destroy the asteroid, which doesn't actually mean that we have a 5% chance to get a better asteroid, and an 80% chance, or like a 20% chance to lose the asteroid. What it actually means is, if we have let's say we have 100 asteroids, right? Sure, 5% of, 20% of those are going to get destroyed. From the remaining 80%, 5% of that 80% is going to become a better asteroid, but the remaining 95% of that 80% is going to get recycled, and that again has another 20% chance to get destroyed. So, like, the asteroids increasingly have a high chance to get destroyed, I guess. Does that make sense? At the end of the day, we basically are, it's like an asteroid sink, this whole deal, right? We don't get like 5% uncommon and then just keep like recycling. I mean, we kind of do, but like, what I'm trying to say is, we need more crushers over here than we need on the other stages, is basically what I'm trying to say. I'm not sure if that made sense, but that's how it works. And yeah, so like the uncommons go over here. Oh, whoops. Misclick there. The uncommons go over here, and then over here, this segment of 6 crushers, right? 2, 2, 2. This is where we process our uncommons. I have a thing over here that's taking all the uncommons, sending them up here, and the metallics go to these 2. The carbonic and oxide go here. They get reprocessed, get put back onto the same thing. That's basically checking if it's still uncommon or if it became better, right? And we won't have anything lower than uncommon here, is the way it works. Because the recipe is the uncommon recipe, so it can't become worse than uncommon. However, it can get destroyed. So if you have 100 uncommon asteroids coming in, we are going to get like 5% of an upgrade, right? And the remaining 80% gets reprocessed again, and 5% of it, or I guess not even 5%, 20% of it gets destroyed again, right? So like, it's just grinding down the asteroids into nothingness over here. And at the end of all of this, we have legendary asteroids. So with these legendary asteroids, this is the next part that we need to kind of figure out, right? I want to take these legendary asteroids, and I basically want to make copper, iron, legendary copper and legendary iron, right? And I also want to make legendary plastic, which, let's see. To make legendary plastic, let me see what we actually need, right? To make legendary plastic, I just need legendary coal. So legendary coal is good enough. I can send this down to Novice and do this on Novice, honestly. I might think of doing that. The other thing we kind of want, I guess, legendary, right? Maybe, legendary. If you have legendary carbon, we could make legendary coal. Wait. Plastic needs coal, right? So we need to make legendary um, coal, don't we? Wait, how do we make legendary coal? So we might have that issue. Because we have carbon, we have sulfur, we have carbon. We don't have coal quite right yet, right? So we will need to make... Oh wait, this is how we make legendary coal. My bad, my bad. So to make legendary coal, we need... this. We need legendary sulfur and we need legendary carbon, which we can make here. And we can combine that into legendary coal. Cool. So I can do this on Novice. So what I'm planning on doing is just sending down the raw ingredients down to Novice and having Novice deal with it, right? Now, the other thing we have is Calcite. I'm not sure if I want Legendary Calcite. And Legendary Ice is useless, pretty much. Legendary Calcite, I think, doesn't really have too many uses other than to make Legendary Stone. Because you can use Legendary Calcite in a foundry, right? Let me show you what I mean. If I have a foundry, let's just put like a foundry here so that it doesn't get built. And if I set this up to legendary, like molten copper from lava, it uses regular lava and legendary calcite to get legendary stone, which we can use to get legendary bricks, and then we can use that to make like legendary concrete and stuff, right? So that is like how we could use the legendary calcite. But I might be getting ahead of myself. However, now that we have that figured out, I kind of want to make a bit of a sorting system to sort this into the 3 different types of asteroids and kind of balance like which one it uses and which one it throws away and stuff, right? And we'll send down the copper and the copper, iron, and also I guess I'll send down the legendary... I might even just send down the legendary um coal maybe? I think. I don't think I'm gonna be sending down carbon or sulfur. Although it might be nice to have legendary sulfur as well. So I'll think about it. I'll think about it, and I'll be right back once I'm done making the sorting system. Okay, so I have made the sorting system basically. And by sorting system, I mean I did not make a sorting system. I instead decided to do a sushi belt. So I have a sushi belt over here for the asteroids, right? And then I have a sushi belt over here for the output. Right now we're only doing iron ore, copper ore, sulfur, and carbon. And I haven't set up the processing for this yet, but we will be doing that real soon too. And for the input sushi belt, right? Basically, I have all of these just taking whatever asteroids they need to take. And on the other hand, I have these things. They are only reprocessing asteroids if there's too many of them. I've set it to 100 of each type of asteroid. If there's 100 of carbonic or metallic or oxide asteroids, right, it'll reprocess them. But that shouldn't happen for ages, and I'll probably set the number to be a bit lower later. Especially because oxide asteroids aren't going to be used, right, so we'll think about that. For the time being, let's send this over here, though. And I have set a few conditions for the rest of these inserters, though. For example, the crusher that's making iron and copper, it's only going to be making copper... Well, it's only going to be making iron and copper as long as the copper is below 80. So it's going to be making both iron and copper when that's the case. However, for the one that's making only iron, it's only going to be making iron if iron is below 80 and copper is greater than or equal to 80. So if there's at least like 80 copper, then it's going to start making more iron, I guess. If there's like too much copper, basically. Then for the next one, we have this. That's only going to be making sulfur and carbon. If the amount of sulfur and carbon that we have is... the carbon is greater than 40, and the sulfur is less than 80. The reason I'm doing this is because I wanted to have carbon made with the other process as well, because we need more carbon than we need... than like this thing's gonna produce, basically, because the ratio of this... let me show you. The ratio of this is 2 sulfur to 5 carbon. To make coal, we need 1 sulfur to 5 carbon. So we're going to be making a bit too much sulfur here, right? And then for this, the condition is... if we don't have enough carbon, it's going to make more carbon, basically. Pretty straightforward. So let's just see if we can get this stuff working. Do I not have the correct recipe? I do not have the correct recipe selected. That is gonna be an issue. Let's select this, legendary quality. And then this should also be legendary quality. This is already legendary quality. This is already legendary quality as well. Oh, I think I know the issue. All of these have to be set to legendary quality as well. The filters. So I'm gonna do that real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. So I had to change everything, including all the stuff that we're checking in the combinators, to legendary quality as well, so that everything works properly, but I think that should be fine. We have too many oxide asteroids that we're not gonna be using, but that's alright. I guess if we get like 40 of these, we'll do something about it. Right, I had to set these to the correct type as well. Yeah, so when you're dealing with quality, make sure you set everything to the correct quality for signals and stuff too. Okay, so I think that should be correct. Now, the next part of this that I want to make, I want to basically smelt all of this on the platform before I send it down, right? So I'm just going to have a few smelters. I don't think we need that many. Maybe just like 4, right? And have this be... Wait, another thing I kind of want to do is... I kind of want to have like a bit of space over here to toss stuff out real quick if I need to. Because I think we might be making too much iron, and at some point we're going to have to get rid of iron, right? So I kind of want to have like something to output, take iron from here, and then toss it out into space over here. But I'll do that a bit later. But for the time being, this is going to be alright. We don't need to have a specific recipe for this. However, I do want to have filters here so that we don't end up picking up the wrong thing, I guess. Not that it really matters that much. So, legendary iron. And then legendary copper. Now that should be correct. And we want to send it back to the spaceship, right? I guess we can even put it in over here. So... Let's say we send it along that. Along here for the time being. Ooh. How far does that go? There we go. I want to use the full extent of any of those belts. Okay. So have it go over here. And I need to have 2 inserters basically. One for legendary iron and one for legendary copper. Is iron legendary? I don't think so. And I want them to be hooked up to our main structure as well. And I only want you to put legendary iron in if we have... Oh wait, wrong thing. Legendary iron plate. Legendary iron plate. If we have less than... Let's say like 1,000. Same here. If we have less than 1,000 legendary copper plate, then I want you to add more. Alright, we need to change this to legendary iron plates. And legendary copper plates. There we go. So that should handle all of those inputs, right? I just need to get this over here, basically. Which isn't gonna be too bad. Okay, let's just do that for now. And that's all legendary. Oh my god, that's so cool. So, the next bit is a bit more complicated. I think we can probably do something like this. And have this be legendary coal. And I don't think we need a filter for this. We do need to have water coming in though. Luckily you don't need legendary water and there's no legendary fluids to worry about. Imagine. There we go. And that should be providing them with water. Can we put productivity modules here as well? We can. Good. Have that. And this is going to be making coal, right? Now... we can just send the coal this way. I guess for now. Hmm. Sure, let's do a bit of this. This is gonna limit how many brushes we can put here later anyway, but that's fine. And you can go in here. So this should be... I just put a filter temporarily. It's only gonna have coal on it, but I'll just put like a filter on it just in case. And I want you to pick up legendary coal if legendary coal is less than 1000. Hopefully we have enough storage space in here. I think we should. I reduced the storage for calcite and space science packs, so that should go down a little bit at least. But for the time being, I think that should be doing it, right? We just don't have any legendary asteroids over here, I guess. Legendary coal? Oh, I do need to output this, don't I? Boop. There we go. Yeah, it's just waiting on carbon. It doesn't need any more legendary sulfur. And the legendary sulfur making thing should not be making more legendary sulfur. Yeah, because C is... Oh, equal to. It should be equal to. And that should technically work. So right now it's stopped at Novice. I actually wanted to go to Volcanus, because that way if you start making legendary calcite, we can dump the legendary calcite out at Volcanus, right? So I am going to make it go to Volcanus real quick. Boop. And I'll probably wait out Volcanus for a little bit and try and like empty out some of these ingredients out a little bit, right? Why do you have iron plates? How are we putting iron plates into this thing? I don't even know. Is it like iron plates we had left over from before? It might be. But this should be working. Now, once we start getting more asteroids coming in, we can start processing them a bit faster too. I have some crushers here. Let's put 1, 1, 1, which means we should have a few more crushers we can put over here. Let me just put like 2 more here, perhaps. And then... 1 more of these. And hopefully that should be fine. I think that should have been all of our crushes. Yeah, it is. Okay, so this technically is working. It's going to take a while to actually get all these resources, right? But it is making legendary coal, which we can use to make legendary plastic on Novice. Because we only need coal and petroleum gas, right? To make legendary plastic. The only thing we don't have right now is legendary stone, which we need for some recipes as well. But this covers like a lot of things that we can already make, which is amazing. And the next bit I kind of want to do is I want to have this set up, use filters. Wait, let's use a signal for you. Okay, you don't need a filter. What I need you to do is have a decider combinator here. Have this read this belt, read contents, and let's say if iron is greater than or equal to 80, and copper is less than, let's say 5, something ridiculous, and then you can output the signal A is equal to 1. And then I want you to be looking for A is equal to 1. Did I send these up to be legendary? I did not. Let's do that real quick. There we go. And you need to have a filter of legendary iron ore. There we go. So basically, if we have too much legendary iron ore, and if it's backing up our copper, it's gonna get rid of it. That's all. It's pretty straightforward, and I hope we don't get into that situation. Because, let's see. this is gonna be making um this is gonna be making iron ore until like we have enough copper ore basically on the sushi belt, right? So there's no limit for how much iron ore we can have on this belt. So if it goes above 80, then I'll start dumping it out. I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. Hopefully this isn't gonna waste too much legendary iron ore. We'll see, we'll see. For the time being, though, we do not have any legendary asteroids, so this isn't gonna be doing anything. I really need more crushers. I need to fill this entire area up with crushers, basically. I probably want to move these cargo bays over here, because we don't need as many oxide crushers as we do the other two types of crushers. And like high rarity crushers would be nice too. But yeah, I need to kind of do a bit of that. I might need to move these belts a little bit if I want to give more space to more crushers. But for the time being, we can't really do much about it. We stopped at Volcanus right now. I have a bunch of asteroids. I'm probably gonna maybe even do a system where I check for how many asteroids I have. And once we run low on asteroids, it runs back and forth or something. Or maybe I might put it on a timer. We'll see. But for the time being, I think this is kind of what I want to have for legendary asteroid, what is it called again? Reprocessing, right? To make legendary iron, legendary copper, and also legendary coal, which are like the three basic resources you have on Novice, right? So with this, we can do quite a lot. The only other thing is stone. And for stone, I think we do need to get volcanoes involved. So we'll see about that. I might do that some other time. However, for this episode, I think that is about it. I will be wrapping up here. If you like the episode, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!